Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to my channel, Man Up Mental Health. We're doing another video on how jealousy is a prison and how real men break out and win. So, jealousy has been a big thing lately, I've been noticing. Let's kind of break it down. Jealousy turns lions into sheep. It's not love, it's insecurity, dressed like control. 79% of men admit feeling jealous in their relationships, but most stay silent. Why? Because they would rather suffer, fellas, rather suffer quietly than to face the truth. Jealousy is a weakness, pretending to be strength. But today we're going to break down in this video how you guys can break the cycle, so stay tuned to the end. In a Psychology Today report, they found that jealousy is the leading cause of emotional abuse in relationships, with 1 in 5 men admitting they've lost someone because of it. Jealousy, a lot of times, is bred from insecurity when guys don't love themselves fully, or they're in this comparison trap that usually breeds jealousy. I would say comparison is the mother of jealousy. So jealousy isn't passion, it's a control problem. Problem is, you think your jealousy means that you care. Nah, fellas. It's your ego trying to babysit your insecurity. Okay? So the solutions, guys, just call it what it is. Call it what it is. A fear of losing control. How you get these thoughts out of your mind, these fears, is you have to journal, guys. You have to separate yourself from some of these thoughts. Journal what you fear, not what she's doing. Replace what is she doing with what am I avoiding? That's really the main question. Go to the gym, work out, exercise, build up your strength. Move some of that testosterone. Don't spill over the cortisol, right? That stress hormone. Schedule some time for yourself to be alone. This helps reinforce your identity from the relationship. And use this mantra: I don't own her. I chose her. All right? Real love is freedom with commitment, not control with conditions. Another fact to this: comparison is poison. Okay, comparison is poison. You're tracking her lights, her ex, or her work friend, like you're like a spy in a movie. You're Tom Cruise, right? You're Tom Cruise in the relationship. You're on Mission Impossible. You know what I'm saying? Cut out the stalking, guys. No late IG scrolling, trying to figure out what she's doing, what she's not doing. Learn how to increase your own value, right? If you're not in her league, you feel like she's doing better than you, level up. Shift your focus to what you admire in her, not what you fear losing. Talk to a mentor, get some sort of coaching brotherhood built up, who's mastered confidence in relationships. Start there. Study high value men. What do they tend to focus on? Themselves, building up their value, building up their worth. Focus on your gratitude. Here's a quote for you guys: a man who's busy building doesn't have time to monitor anyone else's life. When you're busy working and you're knocking out your goals and you're knocking out things that are important, you don't have time to worry about that stuff. And a lot of you guys lack mission. When you're not clear on your purpose, her every move feels like a threat. So when you find yourself anxious about what she's doing, because you're not anxious about your purpose, you're not focusing on your drive, okay? Create a vision statement for the next 6 months. Replace checking on her, right? Checking on her with checking on your goals. Check on your values. Check on your priorities, right? Check on your self-worth. Read this book called The Way of the Superior Man. Get some real insight. Get up early in the morning, guys. I'm out here early in Ladera Ranch, beautiful weather, right? Start your day, on the offense. Get yourself in the men's group. It's a quote that says, iron sharpens iron. Plan your week like a CEO, not like a spectator. Don't get too caught up in what everybody's doing and watching them. There's a good quote for you guys. A man without a mission makes his woman his meaning. And that always ends in weakness. Okay? You see this a lot. Guys are just not focusing on their mission. Another dynamic: scarcity mindset is destroying you. You're acting like she's the last woman on earth. That's weak-minded, fellas. Weak. Solution: remind yourself You bring some value to the table too, okay? You bring some value too. You have to believe it. Engage in non-romantic relationships with women to restore your perspective. Every girl you have a friendship with doesn't have to be someone you're hitting on, okay? Get some game. Avoid overinvesting too early. Pace your emotional attachment. List your non-negotiables. This is your boundaries and your standards. Don't settle for breadcrumbs. A lot of you guys don't really have a good set of boundaries. Some do. Stop saying, "Oh, I can't lose her." You know, she should want to stay with me. You know, get you some rejection therapy. Build your confidence in the face of loss. Rejection is that big thing that really drives a lot of guys into fear. And scarcity isn't reality. It's a symptom of low self-respect. You got that scarcity mindset, you're not respecting and loving yourself. A lot of times your past is running your present moment. So it's hard for you to really get into the alignment of your core values because you're focused about yesterday. You got burned once, right? Now you're projecting every damn fear on her. Right? You're thinking she's going to do the same thing. Name the moment where that trust was shattered. Write a letter to your past self, forgiving yourself for the weakness. Write a letter to yourself. Self-validate. You can't get that validation on the outside. You got to validate yourself. Separate then from now. She's not your ex. Okay? Get into therapy. Get into coaching. It isn't weak. It's a tactic. It's tactical. Okay? Exposure journaling. This helps to reduce the intensity of some of those triggers for those feelings. Build up that trust muscle. Starting small, right? And then building yourself up. Quote for you guys: what happened to you isn't your fault, but repeating it is your choice. Okay? We repeat what we don't heal as men. Right? Sometimes as men, we're coming into relationships broken up with that past hooked on us. The problem is you don't trust yourself. This is the problem. Jealousy isn't about her actions. It's about fear that you'll break if she betrays you. So underlying jealousy is a fear. She hurts me, she plays me, I want to be down, doc, right? Practice mental toughness. Daily code exposure or hard task. Write down, even if she leaves me, I don't lose me. Even if she leaves me, I don't lose me. Okay? Meditate on what it means to be secure without having all this external validation. Create a comeback plan. Have your worst case scenario mapped out. Make 3 decisions daily without second guessing. Eliminate language like, I can't live without her. Right? I don't know what my life would be like, doc, without her, right? Sound like you're in the soap operas or something. When you trust yourself, her freedom doesn't feel like a threat. Let that woman be free. If you're starting to feel insecure about your woman's freedom, you don't trust yourself, you don't respect yourself. You also reward the drama. Every time you get jealous, you bring it up. She reacts, and now you feel needed. That's emotional crack. You're using this jealousy in a lot of ways like a glue to get validation, to get reassurance, but really it's really insecurity. Okay? Pause before you speak. Wait 24 hours before confronting jealousy. Log some of these triggers down and notice the patterns that you're seeing without judging yourself and being too hard on yourself. Try to practice and praise calm responses, not chaos, guys. If you want to interrupt some of these patterns, go for a walk, go do a workout, do some sort of like reset ritual. Okay? Teach her how to love you with boundaries, not with fear. Have some values for yourself. That's where boundaries come from. Okay? Tell yourself, I don't chase validation. I'm channeling power. All right? Chaos might feel familiar, but peace is where your real power lives. Don't get comfortable being in the chaos. Don't get comfortable being in the craziness, all right? You gave up your life. The problem is you dropped your boys, your hobbies, your hustle, and now she's your entire identity. You see this all the time. Guys just wrap their whole world around their woman, right? And they put themselves down here, okay? Resurrect some of those old passions, some of the old things you like to do, whether it's, basketball, whatever it is. Contact some of those friends. Iron sharpens iron. You guys need to start having some more me time for yourself and make it non-negotiable. Get in some sort of like competitions or competitive classes, something to boost up your confidence. Set some goals that have nothing to do with your woman. It's about you. I try to reframe this. I bring a whole life, not a half life, hoping to emerge, really champion that. Frame this negative mindset. Don't lose yourself trying to keep someone else in your life. Okay? And another thing I've been noticing too, you think jealousy is loyalty. If I'm jealous and I'm in fear, that means I must be loyal, right? You convince yourself that your insecurity is just you being a good man. And I'm a good guy, that's why I'm feeling this way, right, guys? False. Okay? Learn what real loyalty is, guys, and what it looks like. Boundaries plus belief. Ask yourself, would I want her monitoring me like this? All on my IG, all on my Facebook, all of my text messages, right? Place these accusations with curiosity. Can you help me understand? Can you help me learn what you need or what I can do better, or, what you need? Okay? Use vulnerability and not control as your anchor. Respect your space. It makes the connection stronger. Sometimes just being far away, giving some distance actually makes her more attracted to you. When you lead with your values, not this whole fear-based surveillance. Your mission impossible. Loyalty is when someone chooses you freely, not because you trapped them. Okay? And another thing I noticed too with jealousy, guys, is that you fear a lot of times her power or her influence, right? A lot of guys have that deep down inside, her beauty, her confidence, her ambition. It intimidates you because you haven't owned your own greatness, all right? You start over focusing on other people's qualities and success traits, okay? Define your masculine edge, okay? What makes you magnetic? What makes you strong? What makes you valuable? Uplift her wins without fear because it dims yours, right? Train your body and your mind. Be hard to be rattled, okay? Compete with the yesterday you, not her attention. It's the yesterday you, not her attention. That's the competition right there. Competing with who you used to be, saying, I am enough. I'm a warrior. Okay, study leaders and people who were good examples of masculinity, right? Who had healthy boundaries. When a king knows his crown, he doesn't fear a queen's throne. When a king knows his crown, he doesn't fear a queen's throne. Okay, guys, you got to tap into that inner king. So this is my final message. Jealousy is the silent assassin of your potential. It doesn't ruin just you, it ruins relationships, hijacks your peace, your clarity, and your confidence. Okay? Every time you choose security over suspicion, you become a freer man. See that? Every time you lead with strength, fellas, you invite real love, not fear-based attachment. So I need you guys to do, man, is just spend some time connecting with your core values. What's important to you? If you're ready to stop chasing validation and start leading from power, hit that subscribe button. Drop a "I'm done with jealousy" in the comments, okay? Let's kind of build up this brotherhood. It's not even a lot of times just jealousy with your woman. You got guys jealous of their boys, right? They see their boys' greatness. They see the man, their homie, he's aligned with his value system. He's already kind of pointed out what's important to him, and he's working towards that, right? This is what's important to me. I love creating, right? I love creating. I love sharing news and helping people. I'm working today, as a licensed therapist here in California and Florida. I got a caseload right after I'm done with this video. I'm about to get back to my values, get back to my work. It charges me. I love it. Some people are like, man, I can't do that. I get burnt out, When it's not in your value system, you get burnt out. All right? Thank you so much for watching this video. Randy Wineglass, 11FT in the state of California and Florida. Peace.